With the release of Black Ops 4 Zombies, we got to play zombies quite a bit, play the new maps, have a great time. And during that time, there were these items that you could use that were kind of like Gobblegums, except, they're not Gobblegums, and they're called Elixirs. They're essentially like a vial of, like, superpowered Gobblegum juice that you just drink, and it gives you, like, a special ability, like it did in Black Ops 3. So, like, you can get alchemical, you can get in plain sight, stuff like that. Some of the ones from Black Ops 3 did return, not all of them, but some of them did. Now, the issue with this is that with Black Ops 4, it's the introduction of a new story. The Chaos story with a new crew of Scarlet, Bruno, Shaw, and Diego. And they also have the elixirs in their maps. And in the Ether storyline, they as well have the elixirs. And in the Chaos story, it's explained that Shaw is the one who made the elixirs. That he's responsible for them. Like, he makes all the vape juice in them that they drink, and it makes them super strong and have, like, testosterone flowing through their veins, like Alex Jones. But that's in the Ether storyline. It's not explained who exactly makes it. I think it's referenced that it could be Richtofen. But I just don't like the idea of them using elixirs in the Ether storyline. So today in this video, I'm going to be talking about how they could have done something even way better than elixirs, or something a little cooler, or something that would make more sense. But if you do happen to enjoy this video and you're new here, make sure you hit the like button. Also subscribe if you're new here. It would mean a whole lot to me. Every new subscriber helps me reach my goal of 100,000 subscribers. So once I reach that goal, I can get the silver play button. And then everyone who has been doing nothing for the past 3 years, I can prove them wrong by showing them I got the silver play button. And that's all I ever want to do. Anyways though, with all that said, let's just jump right into this video. I should clarify real quickly, it probably sounds like I'm standing in the middle of a fire with the background noise, but what that is, that's my heater going on, because if you guys don't know, it's about to be winter in the United States, at least over here in the East Coast. So yeah, it's getting winter time, so things are getting colder, and we need a heater if we want to survive in this cold tundra. But anyways though, let's get into this. So what I'm saying about the elixirs right now, what I'm saying about them is that they should not be in the Ether storyline. They should just be out of there. And what I think they should have done, which would have been way better and made a little bit more sense, is if they just reused Gobblegums. Alright? But here's the kicker. Instead of there being a Gobblegum machine, like there is in Black Ops 3, you just have them in your pocket. Okay? I'll clarify this in a second. Because the elixirs, you just pull them out of nowhere and you just take a slurp and that's it. But the Gobblegums could make a little bit more sense, and they can add a new animation where, like, oh, you're just pulling them out of your pocket, and then you toss them in the air and you eat them like you did in Black Ops 3. And it'd make more sense too, because I'm pretty sure there's a quote from one of the characters. Don't know who said this specifically, but one of the characters is like, oh man, I should just like bust this thing open and just put a bunch in my pocket or something like that. Something along those lines. I'm not too sure who says it. Maybe Nikolai or Dempsey. Not too sure who. But it would make so much more sense, right? If our 4 characters were only using the Gobblegums that they picked up, and then those ones that they picked up could be like an ultra rare one, or a legendary, or epic, whatever you call them in this game. It could be like that. It would make more sense, and the way they could have done it is they could have kept the rarity system like they did with the elixirs. You don't have to re-add the color thing where like the blue one's based off rounds and the green one's time. You don't have to do that anymore. Who cares about that? That can be, what's the word? Rebooted, I guess, in this game. That's fine. I'm okay with that. And they don't even have to change the Gobblegums. They could just do a quick swapping of, I guess, textures. Because if you think about it, the perk machines in the Aether storyline are just the same 4 perk machines, and they have whatever perk you want assigned to them. And then with the Aether storyline, the perk machines of the maps are the god statues, which are clearly just a quick texture change to have a little bit more animation to make them look cooler. But it's just that simple, right? For if they can do perks like that. So is it too difficult for them to just, instead of having green elixirs, or like the elixirs that you have, is it too hard to just swap the like classics over to look like Gobblegums in the Ether storyline with the new animation? Because they made a new animation for the drinking of the perk in this game, and then the vaping of the perk vapors in the Ether or the Chaos storyline. So is it too difficult to really change it to a Gobblegum? I don't think so. I feel like they could have done that off the start. I think the change for that was because of the Ether storyline or the Chaos storyline. I feel like that's why they changed it. Or maybe it's a narrative reason, like, oh, Dr. Monty's not helping them anymore. But what the same thing I just said before, though, the way you can, I guess, counteract that, if Dr. Monty's not helping them, then the characters are just holding on to whatever Gobblegums they had picked up prior, you know? I think it just would have made more sense storyline-wise than just having elixirs and not having an explanation as to where they came from. And all we get from the quotes is like, oh, Richtofen, this one tastes a little funny, you know? It makes no sense. And then along with the ether storyline, the classified map, where did they get the elixirs from? Did Richtofen also make it in that timeline? Like, it's not explained where that came from. And like I said, it would make a little bit more sense if they use Gobblegums, because Zombies Chronicles was taking place in like a fracture, so it wasn't along the original universe, which is why there's Gobblegum machines in those maps with the Wonder Fizz and all that stuff. That's why they're in there, because it's not a part of the original universe where there was no Gobblegums when they were playing in those maps originally. So it would make way more sense if in Classified there would be Gobblegums as well, because Classified is not a part of the original story. It's a part of a different part of the cycle to where it leads into the Blood of the Dead like ending, or like the new cycle that we have now. So it would, like I said, it would make way more sense, because essentially it's kind of like the prior to Moon in Zombies Chronicles, or I guess an entirely different universe of our Ultimates crew. So it makes sense that in that universe you have Gobblegums with the Ultimates crew. It just would make so much more sense. I don't know why Treyarch didn't even think about this. And like I said, they don't have to do the same color system like they did in Black Ops 3, where it's like the blues round base and purples instant, or you activate it yourself, or orange is instant activation. Nothing like that. You can keep the green ones. The classics can still be green. Just keep them as Gobblegums. Just make them Gobblegums, and then commons or the gray ones can be Gobblegums. All of them can be chains of Gobblegums. That's fine. Just all you gotta do is change it from a freaking drink to the literally you can just reuse the animation from Black Ops 3 if they're too lazy to do that. I feel like that would have been, it just would have made so much more sense, and I think it would have been way cooler to have even more of diversity between two stories, because I mean, they already are using the same perks, like the same perk icons. You think they would change the perk icons when they, you know, because like Stamina Up being in the Chaos story, it's still being called Stamina Up, but it's just a vapor. Kind of doesn't make any sense. But then again, the Elixirs being in both stories doesn't make any sense either. So I feel like they could have made a giant turn away from each other if they had just used Gobblegums instead. And then you still earn them at the same rate in the laboratory. So it's like, oh, you got one in plain sight Gobblegum and Elixir, but they're like the same thing. I guess that's where it could get confusing right there with the laboratory, because they probably wanted to make it that it doesn't get confusing for people who purchase with the Nebulian Plasma. It's like, hey, you got one in plain sight that's also a Gobblegum and an Elixir, but you can only use one of one, if that makes sense. You can only use one of it. So if you use a Gobblegum, you can't use the one Elixir you just used of it, if that makes sense. So I can see where that's probably why they did it there, because of the laboratory system. But I feel like I feel like Treyarch could have found a way. I think there could have been an easier way to explain it all. And plus, Gobblegums are just cooler. I thought the idea of Gobblegums in Black Ops 3 were so cool. It's just like, you got soda machines that give you strength. You got a machine that makes your strong's gunner. That's what I was about to say. Makes your gun stronger. And then you got a Gobblegum machine, or a gumball machine, that makes you have extra powers, or gives you certain abilities. It's so cool. I love that idea. I thought that was a cool idea, because it just fit in with the wacky theme of zombies. You buy guns from a box, you put your gun in like a freaking car wash, essentially, a mini car wash, and you get a cool gun. I thought that was cool. And then with this game, it's like, alright, well, you drink, in the Ether Storyline, you drink perks to get more powers. You put your gun through a car wash to get a stronger gun, and then you drink another drink that makes you a little bit stronger, but like for a limited time. It's just, I just think the Gobblegums would have been way cooler for the Ether Storyline, but maybe that's just me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Now I'm gonna be honest, I just listened back to what the frick I just said in those past 5 seconds, and the way I said you, like the way I don't know, I think I had a voice crack there, but I couldn't tell it because it didn't sound like this. Oh jeez, Rick! It didn't sound like that, you know? Anyways though, that's it for the video. Hopefully you had a good old laugh from that weird voice crack I had. I don't know what that was, but anyways though, let me know what you guys think about the Gobblegums hopefully returning, or the idea of them being in this game. Let me know what you think about that, and if they should have used Gobblegums instead of Elixirs, because Elixirs were freaking stupid in the Ether storyline. It makes sense in the Chaos. I'm completely fine with that. The Ether storyline, it doesn't make any sense. But anyways, though, if you liked the video and you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the like button. Really would appreciate that. It helps get the video out there, let people see that other people liked it, and other people will watch it and also like it, and then they'll like it, and then it'll show that other people liked that person liked it, and it'll just keep going on in an endless cycle of awesomeness. So make sure you like the video, share it around with your friends if you'd like to as well, and if you're new here and you watched all the way to the end, subscribe for more content from me. It would mean so much to me. Like I said before, every new subscriber helps me reach my goal of 100,000 subscribers, because once I reach that goal, I can get that silver play button, and then everyone who says I've been doing nothing for the past 3 years, I can prove them wrong by showing them I got the silver play button. And that's all I'd ever want to do. Anyways, though, I'm gonna go now. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, evening, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Halloween, whatever time it is for you. Take care, enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time.